With festival and event season fast approaching, you and your product deserve to be the center of attention.
With a unique mobile event trailer from Brant Mobile Rentals, you can leave your 10x10 pop-up tent packed out.
The trailer features 2 serving windows, multiple size fridges, and 4 taps for kegs on board, just to name a few features.
And a non-branded trailer allows you to add your own personal touch.
Visit BrantMobileRentals.ca or reach out for more information via email to info@BrantMobileRentals.ca.
Or on their Instagram at Brant Mobile Rentals.
Welcome to Season 3 of the Craft Beer Connoisseurs podcast. I'm Tyler. If you're new to the podcast, we are 3 friends and a producer who like to showcase craft breweries and their beers. Also, we like to end every episode with a short conversation on a variety of different topics. If you're not new to the podcast, well, you know what to expect. The 3 connoisseurs haven't changed, and the producers are always a wild card. Whether you're new or returning, please feel free to listen to all of our previous content. And remember to follow us on Instagram at Craft Beer Cons, send a friend request on Untapped, or subscribe on YouTube at Craft Beer Connoisseurs. Also, drop a comment, like, and subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you listen to your podcasts. Now, for today's episode. Welcome to Craft Beer Connoisseurs. I'm Tyler.
I'm Chris.
And I'm Brett. Along with us today is producer Bo.
Hi, Bo.
Hey, Bo.
Bonjour.
I didn't know Bo was French. All right. So in today's episode, we're going to be reviewing Steel Wheel Brewery out of Brantford, Ontario.
And as always, we're going to be having 2 beers in this episode. The first is Station, which is an American-style pale ale, and the second is Norwegian, which is an oat pale ale.
And to finish off the episode, we're going to be discussing our hoppiest hops. All right, we are back.
Yes.
We are back.
Steel Wheel is located at 105 Power Line Road, just on the outskirts of Brantford, and officially opened their farm. I didn't say brewery, I said farm.
Their farm, eh?
To the public with a soft opening in June of 2018, and then the full opening on August 2018. So they took 2 months to make sure they were going to do everything right, and they came back with the brewery that we now know. Steel Wheel is situated in an circa 1890s farmhouse, providing an authentic farm-to-glass experience. We're talking like legit. Farm
Yeah.
to glass. We'll get into that.
And we
in a
would
bit.
know because we've been there. But we'll get into that in a
Yeah,
bit.
absolutely. Oh, are you actually going to put a pin in something?
Maybe. I
Because
don't
usually
know.
we put the pin in and you take the pin out.
Nope, just going to leave the pin in right now.
There you go. So they utilize their own hops and well water when they're making the beers.
Cool.
Everything that is made to create their beer is done on site.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
So Steel Wheel is founded and owned by Harold Curett and Cindy Blair. They've owned the property that Steel Wheel is on back since 2005, so not since 1890, with hops that they started being grown on the property in 2015. The name Steel Wheel comes from the couple's shared love of agriculture heritage, as they've been restoring and collecting antique steam engines and tractors for many years.
Yes. So the farmhouse that has been renovated to give it more of a modern feel sits on a 5.6 hectare parcel of land that includes a tasting room along with a big summer patio. Their head brewer is Mitchell Tuckey, a graduate of Niagara College's Brewmaster program. Who could have thought?
Niagara College, what?
Yeah, never said that before. And he has a knack for making sure the brew system is exceptionally clean, along with, making the beer, of course.
Well, I think that kind of, goes hand in hand.
Yeah.
I mean, clean system, that is a good thing.
So both these beers are going to be clean, I think.
Guess
I
we'll
would
find
hope
out.
so.
Right?
I definitely hope so.
Yes. So Steel Wheel, their focal point, what they kind of want to create is providing, a good community for friends to drink, just a little bit.
Yeah.
Or a lot.
Whatever.
As long as you have a
Or
DD.
medium.
As long as you have a DD.
Yep.
But also learn a little bit as, you kind of go through the education of they have different workshops that they put on. So
That's cool.
Chris, I'm sure that you see on their Instagram all the time.
Oh, totally.
Yes.
Definitely.
Through your wife's Instagram.
So yeah, throughout winter, it kind of keeps people coming back to the brewery as well as learning something new, right? So that's the art of tasting beer, butchering,
Oh,
right? Tie-dye. They do some botanicals, knife cutting, hops and beer, edible plants, making hot sauces. So they kind of like take this whole kind of like perspective on things of just like there's more to do than just drink beer, right? And then so finally, home brewing.
Yes,
You
exactly.
can do that as well.
So I think I kind of mentioned this earlier, but have we been there? Of course, I've been there once, which was in October of 2020. So some restrictions were still in place at the time, but it was a lovely trip. Now, Tyler, you have been there many times because I would think this is your when you go to Brantford, this is your local place that you try to stop into every now and then, right?
Yeah, every now and then. It's not too far from the in-laws, but I don't even have a number. I've been in there many times. Ex-coworker of mine also worked there too, so I'd pop in and see her too. So.
But I think we do have a number for Chris and the producer, Bo, in terms of how many times they've been there.
Yeah, Chris.
Yes.
It's a nice round number, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if it's a number or a lack of number, but it's a 0.
That is accurate, indeed.
Yeah, neither of us have been there. So maybe me and Bo will go there together one time without you guys.
I would bet $1 million that you don't do that.
I will double down on that bet.
Well, I mean, we can just make that happen and get $1 million.
You could.
Yeah,
but
and then Chris is going to post on his Instagram to say
you could, but I still think the $1 million isn't an incentive for you to go with Bo.
Oh, I think it is.
Oh, wow. That's so
Bo's a nice guy.
I never said Bo wasn't. I'm just saying.
He never said Bo was either.
Yeah. Up for interpretation.
But you know what? I have had some of their beers, even though I haven't been there.
Yes.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about the ambiance, if you don't mind.
Oh, yeah, sure.
You know, we'll just kind of lay the land down.
Right, I wasn't thinking about that since I haven't been there, but you know, you've been there, you can kind of explain it. So.
Yeah. I'm thinking maybe just kind of let's paint a little picture.
The floor is yours.
Thanks. Yeah, so they have a nice parking lot. That's good. You need just some adequate parking.
Oh, we're starting right at the parking lot.
Yeah, you gotta. I'm gonna give you a car.
What's the laneway in like?
It's a short laneway straight into the parking
I believe
lot.
gravel.
No,
it's paved.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. They got the nice road there. They actually just finished construction.
Yes. I do remember there was a bit of construction when I went
there. So you can get there a lot easier now instead of taking the detour around by the Brantford Harlequins rugby field. So anyways, moral of the story is Steel Wheel is that kind of like traditional farmhouse that you would see. They have a beautiful property. There's a beautiful steel wheel in the front. So it's
imagine that.
It's hard to miss, and we're going to be posting our pictures of the property and whatnot on our Instagram for you guys to see as well. A nice outdoor patio onto kind of like the side of the house, and then once you go inside, a nice. It's not large, like it's not huge indoors. They have a handful of tables, a fridge there where they kind of keep some of their stock, and then the taps are there as well. If you go inside to the right, you can go over to the back, and then you're basically on the property where they put out a bunch of picnic tables, and you can see where they grow all their hops. So it is a nice, lovely experience to be in the country air, having a pint, knowing that what you're looking at is part of the product in which you're drinking.
Now, I presume that they have kept some of the features of the barn in the building, or no? Yeah,
like there's a lot of wood inside as well, and so like it takes that outdoors to indoors kind of feel, but it's very traditional. Like the building itself is nice. So
the tap room itself is exquisite. I would say.
Yeah, it's nice.
Exquisite.
Very nice tap room.
Yeah,
I know it's a big word for me. I get it.
It just has a good it stays true to its roots, right?
Yep.
And they don't pretend to be something that they're not. And I think that's what is really the appeal to the agricultural society kind of aspect of it, is it's through and through. So now you can go ahead and talk about some of the beers if you like.
Yeah, sure. So on Untapped for Steel Wheel, they have 73 beers listed. The average rating for those 73 beers is 3.64 out of 5, with just over 6,000 check-ins in total. So pretty good amount, I'd say. Now, in terms of what I've had, it looks like I have had the least out of all of us. I've had 2, and my highest check-in was the Lime Gosa, which was a 4.25 for me.
That was a good one.
And it seems like you and the producer Bo are right on point, because he's had one more check-in than you, but he also rated the Lime Gosa 4.25.
Yeah, we didn't have that one together, actually. But
Amazing.
And if I do remember correctly, I mean, we always make a point of saying that, people don't bring us beers when they go to places, but I believe I brought that one back for everybody. Did I not?
I believe you did, yes.
Probably.
Wow.
For myself,
break my arm by tapping my back.
What I would say is if I've only had 2, you're not bringing them any back every time you go. So
It's true. So what you're saying is you're not grateful for what you got.
No, I didn't say that.
Okay.
I think what he's saying is next time you go to Steel Wheel, he would like you to get him some stuff.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about getting some stuff just a little bit later.
Maybe Instagram message him. That's probably the best way to connect
Yeah,
with him, Tyler.
I'm always available that way.
Same.
So for myself, I've had 9 check-ins, with the highest being the Mango Sour out of 4.75. Now, Tyler was so ever gracious and kind to produce not just one can of it. He actually bought a whole growler of this beer for himself, and producer Bo. So that was very nice of him.
Yeah.
But not me.
Yeah, I don't know where you were. I think it was through Instagram.
No, that wasn't
It was probably a baseball thing.
No, it wasn't. I offered. You said no dice to that one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
You're
I
lost.
don't recall.
I do recall because I ended up taking my growler of that and drinking it by a pool because I got another one.
Well, there you go.
Yeah. Was
And
it your pool?
It was a beautiful picture. No, but it wasn't even
It was
Chris's.
not.
Could you imagine if I didn't give him any and I took the growler to his pool and just slammed it back myself?
Yeah, I
It
could
actually
see that.
would not shock me if you.
Oh my goodness!
There's a better chance of you doing that than Chris and Bo.
Wow, thanks, guys. So for myself, you guys might not believe this, but I'm in the lead.
Wow.
I'm taking an episode,
I mean, I would say I would hope so.
right?
Yeah.
I think again, those playing at home, they're keeping track of this for us. I win the episode. That's how it works, right?
There's no point in doing the
sure.
rest of the episode. You win. Okay, good.
It'd be interesting if somebody kept an Excel spreadsheet of who had the most for each one. We know
we're definitely not.
We know it wouldn't be you and I, Chris. But that's
No,
all right.
that's true.
Probably me.
So I,
Yeah, probably.
so I had 10 check-ins on that one, and my highest was a 4.5, also the Mango Sour. So when you look at it, we really only had 2 kinds of beers, Mango Sours and Lime Gozas.
There you go.
But I think that's kind of speaks to it is Gozas and Sours are fairly similar, right? So
Yeah.
it's a sour kind of aspect of it, and they do their fruit well as well with the limes and the mangoes like that. It comes out in their beer.
So we'll see how well they do pale ales.
Indeed.
I imagined well, but I'm just saying
will.
that we're having
Well,
two
as we
pale
say,
ales.
the breweries are always going to send us what they think is their best stuff, right? So if we've had the Mango Sour
Or what they
Lime
want
Goza,
to just be highlighted.
or that too, that are good, and they think that these pale ales are good,
Yeah.
then
And
time will tell.
One
But I'm
thing
gonna say-
I want to note though too is that these kinds of beers are more summer type of beers, and so we're getting there. So
We're almost there.
once you get through some of the pale ales, maybe check out whatever they put out for Sours or a Goza.
For sure.
and Tyler will bring them back for us. Be great.
But not all the listeners. I can't commit to that.
That's true. That's a lot.
Well, speaking of bringing back beers for us, Steel Wheel unfortunately does not offer delivery at this time. So the only
So
way
be grateful that I deliver, boys.
Wow, yeah. So the only way you are able to get your hands on their beers is by visiting them and trying their various styles. Usually they have around 8 to 10 on tap, and again include sours, ales, stouts, lagers, and pale ales. Yeah, Tyler, you were gracious enough to actually do the pickup of the beers that we're having on today's episode.
You think I'd go ahead and drink a growler by myself in front of you, but now I'm gracious. Wow. What a tangled web we weave.
Times they are a changing.
Yeah, I see how it is. This guy's doing a little damage control for the next pickup.
Yes. So the hours at the time of this recording, because they will expand once their pizza menu hits in the summertime, just Friday and Saturday from 1 to 9, and then Sunday from 1 to 5.
There you go.
All right. Well, as always, we're going to link to their information on Instagram.
And we're going to roll on to beer number 1.
All right. I'm a bit dizzy after rolling for so long.
Right? Thank goodness we stopped rolling.
Rolling down that hill, eh?
Rolling, rolling, rolling down the river.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah.
All right.
Gotta love that, don't you?
Well, I think we need to give some thank yous out, like traditionally we do.
Yes.
So first, let's thank Cindy for putting the beers aside.
Yes. Thank you, Cindy.
Let's thank Harold for, grabbing the beers when I got there and saying, these are the ones for you.
Yep.
And let's ultimately thank myself for bringing the beers over.
Yep. Thank you.
Wow.
Equal parts thank you to all three of you.
Yeah, we do appreciate Cindy and Harold for hooking us up today with the
Absolutely,
beers.
we do.
All right, so the first beer is Station, which is their take on an American Pale Ale. The ABVs for this
ABVs?
are
Yes. Please indulge me in this.
are 5.8% is what we have listed in our script notes.
Which is on their tap
The
list
reason
from
for
their website.
that was the tap list. On Untapped, it is 5.9%.
Yep.
And then on the bottle,
6.2%.
so there's a little bit of a discrepancy. So we'll take the average, and maybe that's what we'll do is the 6.2, the 5.8. We'll end up, at a 6.0 even.
Yes.
Sure. I'll probably lean towards the
tap
bottle. No, the bottle. 'Cause
Really?
we have that in our hand, right?
And maybe it's different serving styles. Yeah, that's what it is.
Who knows?
Different batches.
Yeah.
But there are 29 IBUs that we'll say across the board, and probably all of them.
Yes.
Okay. Brett, take it away.
Yes. So Station is an easy-drinking American-style ale made from a blend of barley and corn. It is dry hopped with a mosaic that provides a great aroma.
Yes. Does.
Well,
That we will find out. How do you know?
We
How do you
assume
know?
it will.
Okay.
All right. So, as you know by now, you can always follow us on Instagram at Craft Beer Cons and on Untapped at Craft Beer Connoisseurs. So, the rating for this station is 3.63 out of 5 with 460 check-ins, and 8 check-ins were 5 out of 5s.
perfect. All right.
It's perfect.
So let's grab our glass and our bottles.
Yes.
Bottles today.
It's been a
Both will
while.
be in bottles.
It's
Both will be in bottles.
been a while since we've had bottles.
Yeah,
I
you
feel
don't
like, you know.
see many bottles anymore.
I also do appreciate that Tyler has hand delivered me a bottle opener.
Yes.
That will come in handy.
Yes.
You
These
can't-
aren't twist offs.
Yeah.
You could try.
Sometimes you can't find bottle openers. Like
Actually, I'm
past
pretty sure it was
producers.
producer Bo that did it. But anyway, besides the point.
I'll take credit. All right, let's open her up.
There you go.
The pours.
All right. Well, we are drinking this out of a pint glass today, so make sure to use your proper glassware.
Very good. All right, let's see what we got. What are we looking at here?
Got a nice, almost like a ruby color, would you say?
No, I would not. I would say copper. That's what I
copper,
would go
ruby, kinda
with.
the same.
Maybe. I mean, kind of the same. I mean, ruby and copper.
Yeah, this is definitely not ruby. It's much more brown than any sort of tinge of red.
Might just be the light that's
Oh, it could
behind
be.
me. That's kind of
You know what it is? Probably
My
I think
hand
it's-
as well?
No,
No, it's your sweater.
It's your sweater. Yeah.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
probably getting some kind of light.
For those at home, I'm wearing a red sweater.
Yes.
What you're looking at, it could be just you, your image inside the glass that's giving it a bit more of a red hue. But it is a. I'd stick with copper.
Yeah, if I
Yeah.
look at Chris's, definitely copper. Yeah.
And it's also very see-through. Like, I can see Bo through mine.
Would you want to watch the glass on the mic, there, fella?
yeah. First time doing that. Just trying to bring it up just to look at her and, you just hit some things and boom.
Yeah, things
no
in the
spillage, though, let me tell you.
We're
There you
saying
go.
that the beer looks clean then.
Oh, totally.
Totally
Must be
clean.
that well water.
Well, you better believe it.
Or the clean brewing system.
There you go.
I think it might be a mixture of the two.
Probably.
The clean water the well water going into the clean brewing system makes this
What do you guys smell?
science.
You smell science. I think you were following up on the previous sentence.
Yes.
With the comedic timing.
A
of it.
little late.
Really worked out well.
I had some buffering issues there. Sorry about that.
All right.
Low speed connection over here versus you guys in your fab.
Yeah. So you guys smell science,
So it does smell a little fruity, a little citrusy maybe.
but a little earthy at the same time.
Yeah, a little bit. And kind of, definitely hoppy. Like I'm getting that, that sense that it's going to be hoppy.
I'm going to get like a little bit of earthy, a little bit of hoppy. I feel like this is going to have like a nice smooth mouthfeel on it when I do get to taste it. Whenever somebody tells me that I can do that.
Well, you can tell yourself. You can run it.
No.
You want to run it? You run it. Tell yourself. Give yourself permission. Treat yourself.
Treat myself.
Go
right?
ahead.
I don't get to do that very
You want to
often.
sip it? Sip it.
Sure. Can we all sip it?
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's get to sipping. Well, you guys sip. I will say that we mentioned that the dry hopping in this beer, they said would give it nice aromas, and I do think it does have a nice aroma. So they were right on that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely earthy, but it definitely almost tastes like there's a lot more bitterness to it than what is listed at the 29 IBUs, in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I would agree. I think that there's a bitterness factor that kind of is there. It's almost more subtle at the beginning, but then becomes a little bit more predominant near the back end.
Yeah, it kind of kicks in and and almost like
Takes it through.
revs up a little bit
Yeah.
as you're kind of exits your mouth, right?
Almost like a steam engine, warms up a little bit. Yeah, I see what you're going with there. Right.
Yeah, that's what you were going with, Chris.
Yeah, I was definitely thinking steam engine.
Now-
you got it.
Now, one thing I want your opinion on, Chris.
Okay,
You drink water.
I do drink water. Yeah.
Brett and I both admitted that we were a little parched. Mine was on air, his was off air.
Yeah.
But you have stayed well hydrated.
Always.
So I'm just wondering, you might have a better sense right now on how the beer is finishing until I kind of get through this a little bit more. Does it finish quick? Is it clean? Because I was a little parched, so I feel like I'm a little sticky in the mouth right now.
So, I guess I don't think it is overly clean, and the reason I'm saying this is because the flavor and mostly that bitterness kind of lingers on your palate. Like the flavor doesn't disappear that quickly. Now, I will say it does kind of make you want to take another sip because of that. It's kind of leaving you wanting more.
Do you find it a little bit dry?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's not necessarily bad, but I think
no,
I think
yes.
that's where it's like saying, "Hey, take another sip." Like as soon as it finishes, you're like, "Okay, I should probably have another now."
Yeah.
And go.
Right?
Right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. I feel like this would be, we didn't talk about food pairings with this, but it feels like this and a nice bowl of popcorn would be a great combination.
Maybe some caramel popcorn.
Ooh, like a Chicago mix, like the cheese and the caramel corn.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh
Did
my
you guys
god, yeah.
become best friends?
I think so.
Yeah, I think so.
Brett, why don't you just do us a favor here, and I want to throw you just a little fastball, just right down the hump here. You want to describe the bottle in this one?
So I'm going to do what you did yesterday when I threw you some fastballs down the middle and probably have a swing and miss here. But it does seem like a, would you say a steam engine, perhaps?
Okay, thank goodness.
Oh, is
With
that
some
where you got the
steam.
steam
Yeah.
engine from? Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to make the
Steam
connections. Yep.
coming from the engine,
Yeah.
because it wouldn't come from anywhere else. I'm going to say circa like maybe 1930s, 1940s.
You don't have to get into detail. This is where you start going off the tracks.
See what you did there.
Yeah, I mean, pretty basic label, right?
Which is really good for me to describe it.
Yeah.
Right? Because when you get complicated labels, things go off
it
the
adds-
rails
it
real
adds some
fast.
entertainment
Yeah,
value.
some things that you don't really know exactly what they are, like the ginger being a cactus.
That got called out actually too on our Instagram. We had somebody call that.
Oh
out as
yeah, I
well.
saw that.
Yeah, crazy. Eh?
When did you see it on our Instagram? Please let me know.
The day it happened.
Yeah. One thing I do want to note is that the labels on here is what you're getting when you look at the label. Like it is very clear, fine print. So from an accessibility standpoint, it is
Correct.
it is nice to see.
So in terms of our top 5 flavor profiles, I'll take this one since I started it. Number 1 is clean.
Personally, like I kind of talked about, I would not put that as my number one for sure.
Yeah, from a flavor standpoint, I think it's somewhat there. But yeah, I mean, just it doesn't finish itself quickly. And
Yeah.
it's okay. I'm okay with it.
Top 5 for me, but not number 1. Number 2 is light.
You know what? I think it's lighter than what it would appear, whether it's 5.8, 5.9, or 6.2. I still feel like it drinks lighter.
See, that's weird because I feel like it kind of drinks almost heavy. So it's a little heavier.
See, and when I look at something that's usually like a copper, I'm thinking I'm going to be getting this big malty kind of like forward kind of beer, which might sit a little bit more heavier. But the maltiness, there isn't like this whole malt forward kind of aspect of it, right? Like,
Yeah.
I feel like it's a little bit lighter than beers of similar.
Number 3 is earthy.
What? Does Chris have anything to add? Maybe
No,
he
nothing.
doesn't. Yeah, no, he doesn't.
I think we're
I
good.
saw the head
See,
go left
we're
and
on the,
right.
we're on the I'm connected up to the 5 now, so we're on the same wavelength here.
Either that or he dropped down to the 2.
Who knows? Anyway, number 3 is earthy. This would be my number 1 personally.
I think it's okay in a 3 spot.
Yeah, I'm not getting as much earthiness on the taste as I was on the nose, personally.
Number 4 is fruity. Producer Bo does not agree with this. Do you guys agree or disagree?
No, I agree with Bo, actually. And what I was thinking is that based on, again, the nose, I was expecting more fruity flavor to come through. And honestly, there's really not that much.
Right, and I was trying to figure out what kind of fruit it would be that it was listed. Like, it's not like something I can kind of pinpoint. So I was kind of going back into the speaking notes just to kind of see here, like, there's barley and corn, but we ain't got a whole lot of fruit listed in that. So I'm just curious where that would kind of come from.
Corn
right?
is not a fruit. You're right.
In their description of the beer, they never provided any specific fruit.
Yeah, so I'm very curious why that would.
And this could just be again one of those things where when people are checking into Untapped, they just boom, 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 and it just has kind of carried on throughout, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you said it was mosaic hops, right? So
Yes, correct.
yeah, like I don't see it. I don't see it.
And number 5, Bright.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you went from no G's to 5 G's, so it's got to be somewhat bright because you start sipping it.
Fair enough. Now, producer Bo and I definitely agree on this one. He says that bitter should be in the top 5. which I
Yes,
definitely
for
agree.
sure.
What about dry?
I would add dry in there. I think
Yeah, I
there's
would
a
too.
dryness to it. Kind of jumping back to what we said earlier on.
And in terms of other people's thoughts on Untapped, Tyler, you have the very first one.
I do indeed. All right, so this is from Brad M. The handle's Brattles75. A little old school. There's an earthy thing going on with a slightly dry, moderately bitter finish. 3.75 out of 5.
Nice. So the next one comes from Jerry D. I don't believe it's the guy that hosts Family Feud Canada.
But Mr. D, like, have you ever seen the show?
Yes.
Oh, hilarious.
Yeah. he's a funny guy.
Yeah.
So Jerry D's handle is Uncle Jer. He says it's hard to describe this pale ale as it has a unique flavor to it. Earthy but slightly fruity, very enjoyable as it is their flagship brew, and Jerry D gave it a 4 out of 5.
Nice.
Yeah.
So, again, there's a slight fruitiness mentioned there, but nothing mentioning what fruity flavor it is.
And none of us are picking that up, so that's kind of strange.
Yeah. I don't know. All right, I'm going to get our rating started. So, I'm going to give it a 3.5. Very middle of the road for me. Yeah, it's nice. It's nice.
Yeah, I'm going to be with 3.5 as well. And I was expecting less bitterness. And I'll say it's probably a little bit too bitter without because when you have something that's bitter, you kind of expect maybe that fruit flavor to kind of balance it out.
Or something else.
Or something. And
Yeah.
I feel like there's not really anything to balance it.
For myself, I'm going to go a little higher than you guys. I'm going to give it a 3.75. Producer Bo going a little bit lower than you guys at a 3.25.
There you go. So that's going to give us an overall score. This one's fairly simple. Take from the top, take from the bottom, equal out in the middle, a 3.5.
Awesome. No rounding needed. I love when that happens.
It's just easier, isn't it?
Yeah. You know what else I'd love?
What's that?
Another beer. All right. The second beer we're having today is Norwegian, which is listed as an Oat Pale Ale. This one comes in at 5.4% ABV and 16 IBUs.
Yeah, take a look at the bottle.
So there's actually a bigger discrepancy here. The bottle has 6.3% as the ABV.
That's definitely a discrepancy for sure.
So we shall see.
Yeah, we will. For generations, Norwegian brewers have passed down the yeast used in their farmhouse ales. The fast-fermenting yeast, Kvike, is used within the beer that brings notes of strawberry and raspberry along with moderate bitterness.
Oh, you love a good Quebec yeast, eh?
Kvike, yes.
Whatever.
Not Kvike, Kvike.
But
Do your research!
But you love it, right?
Okay, yes, I do.
Jeez, Quebec, tomato. All right.
Actually, no. I don't. No, go ahead.
Thank you. On Untapped, Norwegian has an average rating of 3.64 out of 5 with 244 check-ins, and there are 2 5 out of 5s.
Will there be 3? We shall see.
There could be 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Could you imagine if we all rated a beer 5? We were close
No.
at one time.
Yeah, we were close.
We were, but
That producer
But
brought
haven't
it down.
been close since.
that's true. All right, let's grab our bottles again. As previously mentioned, we're having this in a bottle. Just a little bit of a whoop and a bing and a bang. And grab your glass and let's open her up. Okay, very nice.
Sorry, pouring.
And
You know
we
what?
shall wait.
That's a good excuse.
So this one is also a pale ale, as we mentioned. So we are drinking it out of a pint glass. So make sure, again, to use your proper glassware.
Yeah. I think everybody's going to like the picture of this one.
Yeah?
Yeah?
Will I like it?
What do we have for them?
Well, I don't want to spoil it.
Oh,
If they
okay.
haven't seen it, I mean, get off the podcast after you're done listening to the episode, obviously, and get onto the Instagram.
Well, I think you can
Actually, you could do that both at the same time. Yeah.
All right. So, what do you guys see?
Honestly, this looks very similar to the first beer station.
If I just hold it away from the mic and my sweater.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
Yeah, fairly
So
similar.
it feels like Mitchell has a style that he likes to go to.
At least in color, right?
Yes.
It's true. On this one here, the head looks a little frothy. Not too much on it, which is kind of
No, not a
nice.
whole lot, no.
I feel like this is going to lace fairly well.
Yeah, and this has definitely a different smell to it than the first one.
Would you
than
say some
Station.
sort of berries, perhaps?
Are you getting berry?
Yeah, I'm getting a little bit of berry.
Well, what I was gonna say is the vibe it's kind of giving off is like an amber ale almost. That's
Okay.
what it smells like.
Okay.
Kind of like that, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, a little bit malt forward as well.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm getting like maybe it's that oat piece of it. You know what I mean? Like
Right.
if I'm getting like a little bit of an oatmeal, like a raspberry oatmeal, which might fall into it. So we'll see.
Yeah,
I don't think
we'll
I've
see
ever
what
combined raspberry and oatmeal, but
What's that?
I don't think I've ever combined raspberry and oatmeal.
No, I think that'd be a very common thing to combine.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
Peaches, sure.
I'm not a huge fan of oatmeal to begin with.
No, me neither.
There we go. All right, let's.
A big head shake from Bo.
Yeah,
He's like, no.
let's try it out.
Let's do
Let's
it.
do that.
All right, you guys get into it.
Cheers, everyone.
Oh,
Oh, cheers.
that's so nice. See what you guys think. I do think this is going to lace really well on this.
Definitely fruit on the back end. Fruity on the back end, I would say. With some sort of graininess involved as well.
Yeah, this is a lot. So if I tasted this without knowing that it was a pale ale, it would probably take a long time for me to guess that it was listed as a pale ale.
So thank goodness it's listed for you.
Right, exactly. So again, even on the taste, it's kind of tricking me, I guess, to be almost similar to an amber, and maybe that's just because I smelt that, and that's kind of stuck in my head. But on the taste, it really does kind of come off that way as well.
Okay. Tyler?
Yeah, I feel that. I'm getting more as it just sits, more of like that strawberry raspberry ish. But I do feel like it is kind of like, again, grainy or oat heavy in the beginning, and then gets more flavorful as it sits through.
See, so what I've kind of found, with all the different beers that I've drank is that I'm not a huge fan of berry flavor in beers unless it's a sour. And so it just kind of, I don't know, for whatever reason, it just doesn't taste great to me. So I'm not getting a lot of the berries, to be honest with you, coming through.
Okay.
Interesting, because I'm getting a bit more.
So is that strawberry, raspberries, blueberries? Doesn't matter. Like you could have a blueberry lager and not like it as much unless it was like a blueberry sour, is what you're saying.
Yeah, like for whatever reason, the berries just taste better in sours versus other styles.
Because the actual fruit mostly has acidity, right? So then when you have it in
Yeah.
sour with the acidity mixed in, it has more of that authentic feel for you versus a hop flavor of a berry.
Yeah, I think so.
We're just learning so much about you.
Yeah, I'm really opening up today.
Yes. About time. I've only been doing this for how long? Like almost 3 years?
Almost 3 years, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
And I know
we go.
more about Chris today than I've known ever. No.
That's usually how that goes. The longer you get to know somebody. All right. Well, let's maybe go to the 5 flavor profiles. Chris, do you want to do the honors on this one? Because I'm going to enjoy some of the berries.
Yeah, sure. So the first one is listed as malty. Personally, I would probably agree with that.
I'd have it in the top 5, but not number 1 for me.
Okay.
It's up there.
Number 2 is smooth.
I think it goes down very, very smooth, actually.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, it is nice. Yep.
Number 3 is grainy.
That would be number 2 for me.
Yeah. So I'm kind of struggling with that. Like, what part of it would you kind of describe as grainy? Like,
More so on the front end, and then it's kind of overtaken by the fruit on the back end, in my opinion.
but like, is that kind of a mouthfeel thing? Like the
Yeah.
graininess?
Yeah.
Yeah. And that might be the oats.
Yeah, I'm assuming it is,
Yeah.
yes.
Number 4 is bread, which I'm not getting a lot of, to be honest.
Yeah, I would agree. I'm not getting like a breadiness feel to it. Yeah.
Yeah. Number 5 is rich.
It does have some richness to it, I would think. I shouldn't say I think. I know it does have some richness in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't see that. And maybe that's the bread and the richness kind of, I'm not on that. I'm not on those ones.
No, I don't really agree with bread or rich either. Now, Bo is saying maybe caramel. I'm not getting as much caramel, but a little bit. And then, I don't know, not to speak for you guys, but would you add berries in there?
I would personally.
Yeah. And that's where I'm kind of coming from, like the rich aspect or the bread. Like I'm not getting that, and I would change those out for that berry piece.
There you go. Well, what about thoughts from Untapped users?
Well, I was going to say, do we want to mention anything from the producer there?
Nope.
Okay.
All right.
Well, we did mention that he might add caramel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has no more thoughts. Just that.
Good with the 5 though, but might add the 6.
Right.
Exactly.
And that's the thing is we usually say the 5, but we do say that you could go less or you could go more.
You can go unlimited.
You can do whatever you want on Untapped.
And
When it comes to beers and chickens.
And that is a good transition. We're going to change lines here. Get it because it's a train.
Right.
Yeah. And we're going to go to Untapped users.
Yes. So the first one comes from Sean Yu and his
Sean me.
No, Sean Yu. His last name starts with U. His handle is Sup Son. Like that. Not sure if I've had a Norwegian Pale Ale, but this is a beautiful copper color and wonderful caramel taste. 4.5 out of 5.
Yeah.
And producer Bo is just jumping in here. He wants me to talk about the bottle. It's the exact same kind of label as the last bottle, just with Norwegian Oat Pale Ale versus Station on it.
Makes sense.
Yep.
There you go. That was easy for you.
Yeah. God, I like it when it's easy.
So the second Untapped review comes from Dean F. Bucks Fa 1. Okay.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
I think we had a Bucks fan another
2.
time.
No, just kidding.
Yeah, 2.
We have the 2 Bucks fans that both enjoy craft beer. There you go.
There you go. So Dean says, nice deep gold pour, sweet raisin note. That's interesting. Something savory heading for Worcestershire up front. Worcester sauce, I guess. I don't know.
Yes.
Maybe celery. Not sure what's unique about Norwegian oats, but I'd be up for another one of these. And Dean gave it a 4.25 out of 5. Bit of a confusing review there, Dean.
I was just going to say, like, hey, everybody's entitled to whatever they want. The deep gold pour would probably be the most accurate thing that I could pull out of that.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever combined like a beer with a Worcestershire sauce, but
Sounds disgusting.
it does, doesn't it?
Every time I hear Worcestershire, I feel like it's like Mr. Deeds.
Whoever came up with that name of a sauce, why?
Yeah.
Why did you do
And
that?
the way that's made is disgusting.
Yes.
Yeah,
I don't even like
know
HP
what
sauce.
It's not good. It's not good, mate. It's not good.
Anyways, we digress. So in terms of our ratings, I'm going to start us off. So out of 5, I'm going to be lower than the first one on this one. I'm going to go with a 3.0.
Okay. I'm going to be a little bit higher than you. I'm going to go with a 3.75 on my end.
All right. I'm going to be with Brett on this one at a 3.75. And producer Bo is going to give it a 3.5. So, you round all those numbers. What do we got, Chris?
Guess what? No rounding required again. This is a 3.5 overall.
What an easy episode,
I was going to say, for Bo, there's less work today.
Bo's getting off easy.
Wow. Okay.
After producer Logan took one hard,
Yeah.
the last 2, Bo comes in, it's like, I don't even know what everybody's complaining about. All right.
So that concludes the review of Steel Wheel and the beers provided.
Up next, we discuss our favorite hops. All right. Being that this is the last main episode before Easter, it only seems fitting that we discuss our favorite
Bunnies.
Eggs.
hops. We're going to discuss our favorite hops. Here they put more hops in it. So let's hop to it and
There
do
you
a
go.
standard round table. You guys okay with that?
Yes.
You guys have your information all prepared?
I do, yes.
Excellent. Do you want me to go first? Do you want the producer to go? What do you
Well,
feel?
it's your topic, so you get to choose.
You know what? I will go first because one of you.
This is where I thought you were saying, I'm going to go third.
What? Yeah, could you imagine just ripping out like a 2 or 3? I'll go first because if I don't, then I feel like one of you guys might take my hop. See, I want to secure my hop.
There you go.
I got my hop secured.
Now, I will say, just because someone says it doesn't mean another person can't say it. But
No, I know, but it's just less fun that way, and then you look like a copycat. And we're out here talking about hops. All right. So for myself, I'm going to say my number one hop go-to is Galaxy, and a close second is Medusa. So
Medusa.
we'll just kind of go
Interesting.
through it. Yeah, so Galaxy and Medusa. And we'll get to a little bit later on, but let's just high level Galaxy, second place Medusa. It's there.
do you want to do bow? Or
I
save
can
bow till
say
the
bows,
end?
yeah.
Okay.
I can say bows right now. Producer Bo, his hops are Citra, and this this is like with Simcoe, Cascade and Mosaic is other enjoyable varieties. Like, okay, we can't pick the whole field. Okay, Bo, Citra, maybe Simcoe.
I mean, my list is at 5. So.
Yeah, we're not doing 5. We're doing
I got
what's really our favorite hop. Coming maybe with a second. Okay,
Okay.
I like the following hops, and you can't list off a whole field. Okay?
All the hops.
Come on, like
What about you, Brett?
So my number 1 would be El Dorado.
Oh, okay.
And number 2, Idaho 7.
yeah, okay.
Both out of random places in the US of A.
Eldorado's good. I like Eldorado.
There you go. All right, so I'll just okay. I'll pick my number 1, I guess.
Wow, what a struggle! What an absolute struggle!
So I put some, science maybe into this. I looked at my beers that I rated a 5 and a 4.75 and saw what hops they had, and then kind of
what?
pulled from that.
You're not the only one to do that.
But I'm explaining my thought process. I know
Nobody
you didn't,
cares.
So,
Tells you damn number 1.
so number 1 then will be Azaka.
Okay.
Yeah, with some honorable mention to Citra and, of course, Victoria's Secret.
Oh, yes.
Or Vic's Secret.
No. You went full Victoria.
Yes.
That's so cute. All right, let's go why we enjoy them. All right. So, Galaxy hops. So, if we look at the spice to resin and floral to fruit, I don't know if you guys have seen, like, traditionally, when you look up a hop, there's a spice to resin left to right and a floral to fruit south to north kind of scale, and it kind of plots where your hop locate on there.
Yeah.
Galaxy itself is kind of in the middle of the road with respect to spice to the resin aspect and high in the fruit profile. So this is probably not a surprise that I enjoy more of a high fruit profile. And you'll see some of these Galaxies mixed in with some of the sours. And this is kind of like flavors of punchy passion fruit, juicy peach, and like tangy citrus. So that's something that I really kind of enjoy is like those high like fruit flavors that kind of come from Galaxy. And Medusa is somewhat similar to that as well. Like again, it's more of a fruitier kind of hop. Producer Bo, really see this is why we narrow it down. We don't have all the time for everybody's.
Yeah, no,
So
for sure.
The Citra hop is a high alpha acid hop with a strong yet smooth floral and citrus aroma and flavor. Specific aroma descriptions that include grapefruit, citrus, peach, melon, lime, gooseberry, passion fruit, and then the lychee. These tropical fruit flavors have made Citra the most popular hop to craft brewers in the world, which might have been used a little bit later on when we talk about facts about our hops. But Producer Bo has come with a whole handful of them.
He's spitting some hot fire.
Just
And
bring
so,
him right in here.
So that's why Citra was part of my honorable mentions, because I also enjoy that.
So El Dorado, for example, is kind of like a balanced bitterness hop. You're not going to see it too high or too low.
Is that the balance part?
Yes, that would be correct. But also it kind of brings the flavor and aromas of like that pineapple, pear, watermelon, stone fruit, etc. When it comes to Idaho 7, it's more so that zesty tangerine flavor.
Hold on. We're only supposed to be talking about one.
Oh, I did both. You're welcome.
Chris, go ahead.
Yeah, so the Azaka has
I
mostly...
like that you've got Azaka in here.
Yeah.
I like this mix.
It's a little underrated, I think.
It is,
yeah. So pineapple and mango are the two main flavors that are coming from the Azaka, and a little bit of pine as well, and then with some kind of hint of spiciness, right? So it's used a lot in the West Coast IPAs, and pineapple and mango are my two favorite fruits that I like to get out of a IPA. So that's really why I like this hop.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
This is actually, I'm glad we're doing this, because if we ever look at doing a collab again, then we can maybe, incorporate some of these.
For sure.
I don't know if all four would go together.
Right, because they might not mix well, right?
Yeah,
But-
this is accurate, yes.
But again, there's different ways that you can kind of add it into the stages, right? So, all right, facts about our hops. We'll do this and we'll round it out. Galaxy hops are Australia's greatest success. Did you guys know that?
In terms of hops or in general?
I'd say in general, but definitely in terms of hops. But I'm only talking about that, right? Brett, something that might interest you is the breeding. So for what would become Galaxy started in actually 1994. So it took some time to perfect the Galaxy hops. It remains one of the most sought after varieties even today. So if you're looking for it, it's going to be difficult to find. Now, the farmland dedicated to producing Galaxy was actually increased by 48% between 2015 and 2016 seasons. So if that doesn't speak to being sought after, I don't know what does.
So they're making it more available a little bit.
They're trying to. I think that's the demand portion, right?
For
It's
sure.
like they're really trying to keep up to that demand, but it's hard to get.
Yeah, totally.
Okay. Producer Bo. Citra is a dual-purpose hop that can be used in all hop additions throughout the brewing process. So it's kind of like if you need it, you got it. Throw it in here, works for everything. Citra overtook Cascade as the most grown hop variety in 2018 and is yet to relinquish that title. Citra has redefined what could be expected out of a hop. It helped push IPAs to the forefront of craft brewing popularity and its extreme citrus flavors. So Citra is really to blame for that, that IPA craze. Haze days, etc.
To blame or to credit?
Depends who you ask.
Yeah, there you go. What about you, Brett? Spit some facts.
This is
Brett, what'd you just quickly Google?
yes. Yeah. I mean, we ain't wrong. We ain't wrong. But I found it a little bit unique that the El Dorado hop is grown in 5 states, and I bet you the state that you think El Dorado is based out of is not one of those states.
It's definitely not going to be in Texas
or New Mexico.
This is correct.
Probably not even. Yeah, I was going to say it's probably going to be very West Coast based.
Yeah, not really, actually.
Oh no,
Midwest?
Washington, obviously, which is West Coast.
Yeah,
Idaho,
yeah,
yeah.
Oregon.
Also,
Yes, makes sense.
West
Okay,
Coast.
Montana
okay.
will be number 5. That's not West.
Ooh, Vermont.
Nope.
Florida.
Nope.
What is it?
Mr. Bo? Not Pennsylvania, no. Michigan.
Close to home.
There you go.
Cool.
Chris?
Chris, what do you got?
All right, so mine's pretty quick. So the Azaka hop is named after the Haitian god of agriculture.
Oh,
So nice little naming convention there.
so maybe Steel Wheel should be using some more Azaka.
I think so. Yeah, relates to the agriculture.
That's it. That's all.
In Haiti.
All right. We'll be back with our farewell. Oh, my goodness. That's all for today's episode.
Thank you again for listening. Keep on listening every other Thursday as the Craft Beer Connoisseurs release a new episode, and on our off Thursdays for a producer special.
Make sure to tell your friends, family, and your favorite antique steam engine collector.
So from all of us and producer Bo, I'm Tyler.
I'm Brett.
And I'm Chris, and together we're the Craft Beer Connoisseurs.